Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
All right, hello and welcome back to another stream. I can't talk today. Yeah, I tried to do a cool little intro music there, but of course there's little hidden things in there, so we'll get better intro music for next time. But hope you guys are all doing well today on this random stream. Got home yesterday from a trip, so I've been kind of just resting, and today I thought I'd just do a stream before I have to go to my little restaurant. I'm going to meet with some friends later on today, actually near the airport. So before I do that, I thought I'd stream. We're going to do Toronto to Charlottetown. And the weather in Charlottetown is looking quite poor. So hopefully we can get in. We have to basically look at our alternate and make sure everything's up to snuff on that as well, because we might have to use it today. Not looking too bad, but all they got really there is RNAVs, and in the non-NG, which we're flying today, has just LNAV capability. So there's no LPB. And we can't do an RMP either, so we'll see if we get in. Today I'm using, I've actually got a lot of products from Parallel 42. They went ahead and sent me these, so I have Chase Plane running, which I'm still getting used to, so I'm probably going to mess up a lot of views and things. And I'm also running SimFX, which I had before in the 320, but I just reinstalled it recently, actually. So we'll be kind of using a bit of that. If you guys have questions on it, I'm probably not the best person to ask, but I do have it, so I can show you guys what it's all about. Matthew F says it was a jam for sure. Yeah, well, maybe I'll go pay for it. We'll get it back in here. So it's kind of a shame. Like it says everywhere, it says free, and then you go use it, and it's like they either do the watermarks or or it flags you for the copyright. And it's like, well, you know, just don't say it's free. Like, I'll pay. Just don't say it's free. It's not gonna be free. Anyways, we're in the CRJ-900 today. We're in a turnaround state in Toronto. Sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and get VATSIM all running. Hope you guys are enjoying as well. I have some new overlay stuff at the top of the screen. I'm not sure if the data's gonna work for it, but we'll see. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, we'll take some CRJ engine sounds. We could do that for sure. Oh, you know what? That's because I closed it. So let me get that working for you guys, so you guys can see that as well. Will, welcome. Hello, hope you guys are doing well. So you should have the overlay at the top working, except for the no data thing. I'm gonna try to figure that one out as we go, but we'll try to get the stream kind of underway. And like I said, I didn't even plug in my, this is how random this is, this stream was. I didn't even plug my yoke, so let me do that, and hopefully the sim won't crash. I don't think it will. But if you guys want to fly along with us as well, feel free. I don't think there's anybody online of VATSIM right now, unfortunately. Usually it's kind of probably too early for Toronto right now, but feel free to do that. and it's not super short flight, but it's not a long one either. It's maybe about an hour and a half or so in the air. There's no star into Charlottetown, and it's an hour and a half arrival for the most part. They're advertising, so if you've never done an hour and a half arrival or know how to do it, this stream at the end of it will be for you. You can go ahead and watch that. And I already did some I have an RNAV tutorial on my channel, and I also have a like the last stream we did was into Kelowna. That was also an RNAV arrival. So we didn't freeze. That was pretty quick, actually. So we'll start getting this thing set up. Again, I'm using chase plane, so now I have different settings for different controls, so I can press that, and we get a nice cinematic kind of look. And what else can I do? There's another one. Do something. That just changes the angle. Then I got external view. Oh no, this is actually showcase view, I guess, with the drone camera. And then this is the external view. So I think I have those quite memorized, and then this to go back inside. But we will see as we go. We got different views here that I've kind of pre-set up, but I only have a few that I manually set up, like these wing views and in the flight deck. So anyways, we'll go back. This is going to be quite annoying to go from each side. But anyways, should be 1 and 2. That'll be probably the ones I'll use the most. Got already 14 people watching, which is pretty incredible. So thank you guys for tuning in today. And I'll try to get that no date at the top. I'll try to fix that as we go here. Anyways, let's start getting ready. So this is in a turn-on state. We're simulating. We just picked this airplane up from a different crew. I'll get request boarding from GSX. And I should also get I'm going to start up quick CPU real quick to get off of balanced mode into high performance mode. So we're going to go to the EFB. And you can see all the trucks outside are starting to move. Flight plan. We're going to import the OFP from SimBrief. Yeah, they can attach. That's fine. Everybody. We're actually not going to send to the FMS. We'll do it the real way, and then we'll press set payload and fuel. I'm going to go to performance, and I just want to verify. Press enter, set payload, enter, set payload. Sometimes I have to do that a couple times to make sure it works. While we're here as well, we'll just go ahead and set the V speeds up as well. Set all. It'll be a flap 8 takeoff of 2.3 most likely, with a trim of 6.6. 6.6. And also, I've been beta testing the new RJ, which is coming along very well, and the new one is absolutely amazing. However, I can't stream that, so we have to stream the current V2. So let me go ahead and change these back into my CRJ profile, or else I'll be all over the place. That doesn't do that anymore. That doesn't do that anymore. Okay, there we go. Yeah, these views are going to cause me some problems, but anyways, we'll go ahead and reset the IRS. So just just keep them off for no less than 5 seconds for a quick realign. Index, FMS control, everything is synced. Index, position. Go to the next page. We'll grab the GNSS coordinate. And we'll throw it in the position there. So we now the the IRS can be updated with where we are. Just verify the rest of these are all enabled. We'll go flight plan. Going from Toronto, Charlottetown. And let me bring up the flight plan so you guys can see it. I kind of lost it with all the tabs I got going on. Let's do that. Alright. Close Task Manager. Close Steam. Close that. I have so many tabs open. Okay. So I'll bring this up. And I'll move it so you guys can kind of see it. Nope, not that one.
Your crew has boarded. Passengers boarding started.
About there. Hopefully it's good enough for you guys to see there. So, this is our routing here. Our alternate is Moncton, which is CYQM. We'll put that right there. We'll execute that. We're 328. And we'll go radio, next page, Jazz 328. I didn't pick up my Z. 328. Dirkshire, welcome. Good evening. Just on the way home from work. Oh, welcome, welcome. How was the day at work? Dante says hello. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Strange watching a stream whilst on the underground. Oh, like in the subway? I don't know if that's what you mean by the subway or the tube or whatever they call it up there. It's crazy. You actually can get service. Where I'm from, the subway, you don't get service, so that's pretty cool. I think they just started to install like Wi-Fi and that kind of stuff, but it sucks. No one uses it. This is our route here. We're gonna plug in, as you know, the route first, and then the SIDs and star. There's no star, so just the SID today. VATSIM-wise, there's no one on for Toronto. So let me just quickly check the weather. I'm assuming it's going to be runway 23, and I'll check what they're using on FlightAware as well. Oop, my video just plugged into my phone there. Or Star Wars Theory that came on for a second. FlightAware. Toronto. Yeah, so they're using the 2.4s and stuff, so it'll be 2.3 departure. So we're just going to type as we see it. Oh, Alba. And then we're taking the Q951 airway, goes in the VIA section on the left, the Talno. And then Q929 to Toxel. And then we're going direct to Danil. And then again on the Q951 to Ikiru. And this is all here. I'm reading this, by the way, guys. So we're at that part there. IKU RO. Execute that. Departure wise, we're going to be taking the dead key 5. Oalba transition 2-3. Nope, I didn't save it. There we go. Oalba transition. And then arrival wise, there's no star, so we will leave all of this until later. Performance, we have 10,550 loaded up, so we'll do 10,000. Real world, this number does not account for APU usage. In the sim it does, so I'm going to put what the total number is. And then we're cruising at 370. And then our alternate, scroll all the way down here, is 10,000 feet. Whoop. Zero fuel weight is 69,825. I'm gonna actually see what they put in the actual airplane. Whoa, I don't know why that's so laggy. 69,359 is what they have loaded. 69,395 brings us to a 79,900 pound gross weight, which minus about 400 pounds for fuel wise will be 79,600 for the takeoff, somewhere around there. And we'll scroll back up here. These are our winds. So got plus 50, got some nice tailwinds on the way there. Plus 50, plus 47. And then it's a plus 2 ISA deviation. Insert that. Next page, we'll scroll down. And our reserve is 1706. I did not put that in the right place. 1706. And the time off is 18:35. Seems like my mouse clicks are very delayed today. I don't know why. Alright, perf. We'll go here. And this doesn't really work in the current V2, but it will be getting better. Is this this data down here. So if I go flight plan, refresh weather, back to performance, we got a flex of 43. Now what you'll notice is in the current one, our current full rate thrust takeoff is 89.8. If I go ahead and put 43 in here, where we flexed only like a very little bit, we only flexed about 0.7 each engine. Real world that'd be probably around the 84 Bores 5 area. So the new version, whenever the next update after V2, the next one comes out after that, will have the updated flex temp. It will work correctly. Let me catch up with the comments here. I've been kind of getting a little bit far behind. Dirk says, yes, that's in the subway. Yeah, that's kind of cool. You can get us from the subway. JD, welcome. Hope you're doing well. FO says, yo bro, I should actually. Welcome as well. And Pro, do you have some news on the upcoming update? News, not really. It's coming along very well. The new flight model will... I've never flown a 37 real world, but from the coding side of things and what I feel in the airplane, it will be one of the better ones in the sim to rival the PMDGs and all that kind of stuff. It will be very good, in my personal opinion anyways. However, we're not really going to see anything until the current V2 update that I'm using comes out on Marketplace. Until that happens, we won't really see anything else because there's no point in pushing updates when Marketplace hasn't caught up yet. So that's all I can really say on that one. But everybody will be very, very, I think, impressed with how it's come along. The new flight model will blow the socks out of the CRJ. And I think it'll get a lot of people flying it as well. Okay, so 247.76, we'll go ahead and execute that. Is our cruise. Keeps coming up with unable flight plan altitude. We can definitely do it. Let me go make sure. Actually, there's no step climb in here. There usually isn't. But sometimes there is, but there is not in my flight plan. So, radio tuning wise, we'll plug in manually the Toronto VOR, just because the engine out procedure runway 23 does have a turn based on the VOR. We're also going to put in the CYYZ VOR fix and a 6 distance ring around, just as a reference for the engine out procedure if we need it, which we won't in the sim, but just to have it. MFD menu of flying from the right, so we'll go VNAV and on. That looks good. Copy active. We'll go copy active on the left side as well. And make sure that you guys are seeing all the right view. For the most part, it looks good from your perspective. Should move you a little bit. Around there. Awesome. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of frame loss. I don't know why. It could be the new overlays and stuff. I'm only at like 40 right now. Oh, you know what it is? It's the traffic, I think. Yeah, I installed the traffic mod, which it looks cool, but I'm gonna get rid of it. I like 80s, and if I'm not in the 80s, then I'm not happy. Let me see if I can do anything with quick CPU to fix that real quick. Yeah, a little better. Okay. Quick CPU to the rescue. So we're going to import our flight plan from SimBrief. And we're doing that one. .hello.3. Dan, how did you determine the cruise? Let me pop it up for you. I forgot I got rid of it. So let me pop that. Oh, wrong screen. Wrong screen. There we go. I'm new to this. Let me pop up the window for you. The cruise is if you go to your flight plan and look for the list of waypoints, go directly under TOC. Gotta find your top of climb, top of climb, top of climb. There it is. So go one waypoint under this section. The next one's Davda. They want us at 247.76. That's where we find it right there. Shaq, what is Quick CPU? It's a tool I use to get performance out of the computer that I just don't sometimes see, so I can turn off certain cores. I can put it in a high performance mode or balance mode or things like that. So I find it helps my performance quite a bit. I don't really talk about it for anybody to get it just in case it does do damage to the PC. It's just doing damage to my PC. I don't think it does. But it is a tool I know most, I hear other people use as well. So maybe just do some research into it before getting into it. But it's pretty easy to use. let's go ahead and set up our FMA here. So on the dead key 5, we're up to 5,000 feet, and I'll show you that in a second. The heading, it will be 237. So the cool thing about these domestic gates is you just go ahead and click your heading sync, and it's the runway heading is basically your parking, which is quite nice. We'll set our altimeter by pressing B. That'll set that up. Let's go ahead and start the APU as well while we're doing this, because people will start complaining about it being too hot or too cold. The bit test has been completed. You press the start button. APU start, that's coming up online. We're flying from the right side, so we'll click the transfer button, so we're flying from the right. And now we get the arrow to the right. V speeds are all in. We've got to set our level off, our acceleration altitude. Do that real quick. And that's going to be roughly, it's 1,000 feet above ground of your airport, so at Pearson it's 1570. So we'll go ahead and scroll this to 1570, and that's the altitude that we're going to, instead of pitching for V2 plus 10 to 20, we're going to accelerate to our VT speed, which is 207 in this case. There we go. Oh, there we go. Sorry, you guys couldn't see that there. I clicked the wrong one. So 5,000 feet, I'll go through what I just did. 5,000 feet, MDA of 1570, that's our acceleration height. The altimeters have been set as well. And then the heading indicator here, this is a little trick. At the domestic gates, if I want runway heading for 23, just center the heading bug with the sync. And it's straight ahead is 237, which is also the runway heading. So it kind of works out. Thanks for all for that. Draco, hey, welcome, welcome. Dan, we can't see. Yeah, sorry about that. Screen all black. Can't see some. Yeah, thanks for all that. That should be back for you guys. Should be able to see it now. Really appreciate you guys joining as well. Please press the like button if you like it, and subscribe for more. And yeah. So that's all set. I'll give you guys a takeoff brief in a second. We'll get this clock set up by pressing ET, and we're going to change the mode to GPS. Awesome. APU is already online. The packs have been auto and they're on. We'll check the temperature. And we're selected 22, and it's actually 22. Very rare that those actually match up. Real world, they're all over the place. The temperature is one of the hardest things to control in the CRJ. Anyways, that's all done. Man, this chase plane, I don't know if it's chase plane or what's happening, but it's getting kind of laggy. I think it's just my PC at this point, though. Because I've used it off stream, and it works just fine. So I think we're just waiting on baggage. Oh, that's not my button anymore. Is this my button? This is my button. Yeah, I'm still getting used to chase planes, so don't mind me. While they're doing that, we can go through the departure brief with you guys. That's not the button. That's the button. So I'll bring that up. I'll put that to the side for right now, and we'll go to the iPad. So it's going to be runway... okay. Yeah, they call 15 left. It's not going to be 15 left. It's going to be runway 23, flap 8. It'll be flex rolling bleeds open. The anti-ice will be off. Continuous ignition is not required, and the visibility is more than beautiful. The dead key 5 departure. Runway 23. Basically, it's runway heading until 1,100 feet. Then it's a right turn 245. Expect vectors to Sabre, which we won't get vectors, up into 5,000. The engine out is straight ahead till 1570, a DME of 6.2 in the VOR, and then a left turn 200. Noise is no turns below 3,600 feet. Questions, comments, concerns, threats. Threats for me is the chat, because I keep liking to read it and talk to you guys, so I'm probably going to get distracted with that. Other than that, weather's good here. I'm good. No MELs. So we should be good to go. I just heard that they're cleared. The boarding has been completed as well. There's still no one on for VATSIM, so I'll go ahead and plug the CTAF, which is 18.7. We'll have that up and running. And yeah, so we'll start getting ready to go. So the APU is on. We'll throw the hydraulic pump on. We'll turn the seatbelt sign on. We'll go ahead and set the landing altitude for Charlotte. So we'll go down here. We'll press index, database. Charlotte Town, I should say. CYYG. G. It's 167 feet, so we'll bring this number up to 180 or so. Do about left shift and maybe 5 scrolls or so. Where does that put us? Way too high. Without left shift, it goes by 20s. Apparently not. Good. It's kind of annoying to do that, but that's all set. The tug's already connected, so we'll check the doors page. Let's bring it up here. Yeah, that's what I expected there. So aircraft will close the main door, close all the cargo doors. The AP was on, which I didn't check the electrics. I should do that. The AP is providing all the power. The ground power has been disconnected from the system, so we can turn that switch off. Click electric once more to check that the DC system is still being powered properly, which it is. Status button on that. We can go ahead and disconnect the GPU, and we can disconnect the chocks. Okay, so the doors now should be all closed. They're all closed. Fuel pumps can get turned on. The steering is off. The beacon light can get turned on. The transponder can go to mode, which is mode C, and that's on number 2. And we can tell GSX to push us back. It'll be tail south, or whatever, facing northwest, so tail south.
Release parking brakes, please.
Cool. Let's get going.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
7 says the calculation for the pitch and pitch trim in the IFB correctly calculated. I feel like the nose always lifts too much. So in this flight model, I would hold all your flight model critiques until the new one comes out, because in this one it's kind of completely all wrong. The new flight model will be a lot better, and in the new flight model everything feels a lot better. I can't even describe how much has been done to it. There's been so many things that we've changed to that flight model, and so basically I've given just personal what the airplane, how I think it feels in the air, all over to the thing that it should be a time to climb from 0 feet to 37,000 in about 24 minutes, and we've kind of dialed in all the fuel flows and the drag and the lift. We've kind of done all that, so the takeoff's been improved as well. So once you get to the new one, we'll talk about the flight model. In this one, I wouldn't even worry about it. It's gonna be gone soon. But you are correct. All the trim and takeoff in this one's just wrong. All right, we'll set start right. Start our timer. You have a right engine start. Waiting for 20% N2. This has also been changed in the new one. And waiting for that, and waiting for an ITT below 120.
Unlocking gear.
Really appreciate you guys watching today. Kind of more of an earlier stream than usual. I would be streaming later tonight, but I have other plans tonight, so I'll be going out. Well, fuel. I'll give you guys the view because I know you guys want to hear that.
Left is clear, right is clear.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention, as we will now display the safety features of this aircraft. When the seatbelt sign is illuminated, insert the metal. To release, lift the top of the buckle. We recommend you keep your seatbelt fastened during the entire...
Okay. Sorry, I just had a bite of my burger there. As I struggled to get back to the view here. Hold left engine start. At the start message, we'll cancel the clock. We'll restart it. For the next, we'll do this one from the flight deck. This next engine start. Looking for 20% N2 and an ITT below 120. We can add the fuel. This will be adjusted, these starter parameters, in the next one. As soon as you add that fuel, your eye goes right here. And in real world, this would already be kicking off. And then your eye goes up here to make sure that the N1 is spinning. The N1 really in the NG doesn't really start spinning. The engine is the CF34 8C5. That's the engine for the 900. The N1 doesn't really start spinning until about 32-ish N2. So it'll kind of be at 0.1. So add fuel, look here. Around the 30s, look there. and it should start to go up. So we had a starter cutout. Reset the time, set it back to ET. That's elapsed time. It'll auto start timing us when we take off. And we'll check the electrics to make sure that they've transferred over from the APU to the engine. Or engines. Which they have, and everything's looking good. So we can go ahead and turn the APU off. Aft cargo to on. Probe switch is on. Not that. That's all good to go. We'll go ahead and test our rudder. Flight control page. We'll go full left. And it's not going to hit the wall because my rudder in the current B2, I have massive dead zones and all that kind of stuff, so it's not going to quite hit all the way, but it would real world. And we'll turn the steering on. Back to the status page. We'll start taxiing. We'll make a quick call. Taxi light on. Park and brake off. Let's get going. Got to the chat here as well. CST Gaming, welcome, welcome. You're the first streamer to stop by, so everyone go check out CST Gaming as well. I think it just put a new video up on the last one I saw was the minimized overhead panel from Pete, but I think he actually had a newer one than that. I have to go check it out again. That one was really good. I like that one. So go check out CST Gaming, everybody, if you don't know who he is already. What happened to the CRJ that did a flip not long ago? So won't talk about that. Can't talk about that. As Evan says, wasn't the new flight model released with V2? No, it was not. The new flight model will be an addition to V2. That will be coming out, well, I don't really know when it's going to be coming out, but it will be coming out. Brand new flight model and some other things, a little bit of holding fixes, a little bit of flex temperature fixes, all that kind of stuff will be better as well in the new one, whenever that happens to come out. Toronto traffic, Jazz 328, taxi runway 23 via lane 5, correction, lane 6, Alpha Hotel. I'm also going by memory. I need a chart for, I don't have it up right now, but I think this is lane 6. The right one. You can actually go over here, go charts, and zoom in. My original is right, lane 5. Oh well. Yeah, if anybody knows how to get, I think there actually is a way to get that chart up here, isn't there? You just go here and zoom in. Because I love that. They're called AMM charts. Is that? Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So lane 5, lane 6. So I am on 5. Yeah, this is how we taxi in real world. If anyone also knows how to get this in track up, I don't like this. This is like north is up here, south is here, east is there. I want this to be basically flipped around where it points in the direction I'm going. That's how we use it real world usually. No one really uses north up. But if you know how to do that, let me know. Pretty quiet in Toronto. Just make sure I'm still even connected to VATSIM, which I am. It's just pretty quiet over here. I'll mention that I'm used to the, I've been flying the heck out of the new flight model for beta testing reasons and just getting it up to where I want it to be. So anything you see here, landing, takeoff wise, it's going to be probably not the greatest performances, just because I'm so used to the new one. The new one, if you can actually do basically the real life technique, for the most part, like 99% of it on the landing, I should mention, and it's very, very good, very close to what you get. We're try to ride the line between, in the real life, the CRJ, talk to any RJ pilot, the 900 specifically, or even probably 1000. It's a very weird airplane. I just flew the captain the other day who flew the Embraer 175 and flew the RJ, and he said the Embraer like a piece of cake. You flare it, you're coming down a little hard, you can nose up a little bit more, and what you think's going to happen, you'll kind of gain a little bit of lift, and you can kind of soften it out a little bit. The 900, from his experience from those two airplanes, the 900 is severely more trickier, and it's a very quirky airplane, and so we're trying to capture that as best we can. And what we're working on, I think we've got it pretty good, and what we're working on in the flare is to, if you flare a little early, it's very easy to float the RJ if you've over flared / did it early, but it's also very easy to under flare and slam it. So we're trying to build in those little quirks here and there. Average Geek says hello, welcome my friend, welcome, thanks for joining today. We're going to do it before takeoff setup here shortly. And Pro says, do you, I assume you, still need the sound pack after the update? Yes, yes you do. Yeah, Boris won't be replaced. You will need Boris. All right, we'll go ahead and set our flaps to 8, which is our takeoff setting. We'll go ahead here and turn our crossflow to manual. We're going to go ahead and check the rest of our flight controls with the flight control page. Go full left, full right, full down, full up. Go back to the status page. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn, because I'm not used to chase plane just yet, and I keep hitting the wrong view buttons. I'm going to see if I can turn chase plane off real quick, and I'll kind of put it back on later. I just forgot the button for that too. No, I don't want a tutorial. Probably should do the tutorial.
Here you'll find...
Stop it! Groups, community preferences. There is a button to turn chase plane off. Application. There we go. Toggle chase plane, enable chase plane. What was that button that I set that to? Button 0. This one? Not that one. Well, I'm going to set it to this. Oh, now I can't look around. Well, I guess we're using chase plane. Won't be able to look around. Pretty good sounds. I mean, those sounds are pretty accurate, especially with those bins kind of rattling there. Sounds really good. Maritime Pilot, are the cockpit textures you've installed available now? Yeah, of course. Those have been available for quite a bit, actually. All you gotta do is go to flightsim.to and just type in CRJ-V2, and there's be a whole list of liveries there. And the one, it's going to be the Hughes texture mod is the one you want, and that has all the grime and the dirt and kind of all that kind of stuff. The windshield I mentioned that he has in the original, that one you can download, is like crazy dirty and scratched up, and maintenance would never let that fly. So what I went ahead and did is I deleted 3 files from the folder to make it a bit, I basically got rid of the texture on the windows so they're clear again. I forget what they're called. I think it's like windshield. There's 3 windshield, VC windshield. I deleted 3 of those. I reformatted the JSON file, and it worked. I maybe can make a tutorial on it if you guys really want it. But yeah, I didn't like the grime and dirt on the windshield. Can't even see through it. Hey Josh, welcome. How are you? Not too bad. How is your day so far, or night, depending where you are? Seems like there's absolutely nobody here, so I'm just gonna do my call and line up on 2-3. Toronto traffic, Jazz 328, lining up runway 23, deck E5 departure. Absolutely nobody here. You can see chase plane. I think it's chase plane because it's not. Yeah, FS realistic is off. Chase plane's adding those little cool little bumps as I taxi, which is pretty sweet looking. FS realistic does it way too kind of aggressive. Your day's meh. Yeah, I feel that. Well, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully it's going okay. We'll do our lineup, so we'll go strobe light on. There's no one to clear us for takeoff, so I'll clear myself and turn the liner light on. We'll go ahead and box these messages by clicking the stat button. We're clear right. And we are clear left. We get to the center line, we're going to press our toga button, which sets the flight directors up. Here on the center line, press the toggle button, TO. We have the takeoff configuration, so we're all ready and set to go. Put our throttles up to the between the screw and the climb, we're going to look for about 70 to 75% N1, which takes forever in the current one, but that'll be fixed. And we'll do toga thrust. We got flex, which is nice. All that stuff will be adjusted as well in the new one when that does come out. 80 has been checked. Got a bit of a wind from the right, or from the left, sorry. So got a bit of left aileron in, not too much, and a little bit of right rudder to keep us on the center line. These chase plane bumps look really cool. So V1, rotate. Gear up. Speed mode, or climb 166. Nav mode, heading, FMS2's armed. FMS2's captured. I'll zoom in on this PFB so you guys can see it. I'll be using the sync button. If you don't know what the sync button is, I have a video on it, but feel free to watch here. And I'm basically going to sync my flight director up to where I am once I start accelerating. So there's the MDA, so we're going to pitch down lower than what the flight director is telling me so I can accelerate. I'm also going to fly the lateral portion. And I press sync button. Watch the climb 66 becomes climb 180. We'll go flap 1. Flap 0. Start pitching up a little bit more. Oh, it's so sensitive in this one. And climb 204, climb 208. That's what we wanted for VT. We'll go climb thrust. And we'll go autopilot on. And because there's no one here, I'll clear myself a little bit higher to 7,000, which is pretty typical. It's Toronto, and we're going to bug this up with my speed knob. I have my autopilot panel to 250 knots. While that's going up and climbing, we can go up here and turn the manual crossflow back to off, or to auto, I should say. Reversers can get disarmed. And if it's a beautiful day with no one here and no bumps and bangs going on, we can just set the belts to auto with the landing light turn off as well. Sweet. I'll give myself my own turns because no one's here, so I'm just going to vector myself roughly to Saver. And we're going to go heading mode. Go all the way up to 370 because, again, there's no one here to tell me otherwise. Somewhere around there, and we'll go Saver, second from the bottom, or second from the top, sorry, it's direct, and I'm going to wait a little bit, do it one more time, execute, LNAV or nav mode, FMS2 is captured, and we are on our way to Charlottetown. I hope you guys are enjoying the overlay at the top. I think I kind of screwed it up a little bit with me setting it up here. Stand by. There we go. You guys can see that at the top if you enjoy that. Let's see what this airplane's doing. Do that. We'll do it. We'll do it manually. We will do it manually. I've also brought that up to their attention as well, so that will be hopefully getting addressed. Alright, autopilot back on. Bryson says, hello, great to see Toronto once again. Yeah, well, hopefully you're enjoying it. Thanks for watching. Josh says, any rough guesstimate when the V2 will be out? Well, this is V2. This is already out. The next update, I don't know what they're going to call it, like V3 or whatever. I don't know what they're going to call it, but the next one, I have no idea. Passing 10,000 feet, vertical speed. So this is not the new flight model. This is not the new flight model. I would have a lot of videos already out on that if it was. Going up to 280 knots, and we will select, once we get a little bit closer, I'll dial my vertical speed up to kind of increase the rate of climb a bit more, and then I'll press speed mode. Because if I click speed mode 280, the nose is going to shoot up and it's very uncomfortable. So I'll start dialing a higher feet per minute right now, just to get that a little bit less of a acceleration. And now I'll click my speed button right here. I have it on my autopilot panel, and I'll just match it up, climb 280. And we're going up. go to 122.8 now because there's still nobody here. We'll get rid of our MDA for now. Bring it up later. And that's it. Through 10,000. Everything looking pretty good. Another probably about hour and a bit in cruise. Let's see. Progress. Yeah, it shouldn't be written that way. But about an hour and 14 minutes or so. I am going to eat my burger real quick, but feel free to keep asking questions and I'll unmute myself to come back. Can I ask, have I tried the CRJ 2024? I haven't tried the V2, but I have tried the V2 beta, the new one that'll be coming out. I don't know what they're going to call it, V3 or whatever, the one with the new flight model. Have tried it a little bit on that to make sure it runs well. But I honestly, I'm not a big 2024 person. I know it's getting better, but I'm just waiting for everything to be settled. I hate that I have to stream stuff and all that kind of thing into the sim. So yeah, that's just me. I'm happy with 2020 for now. I used to do FSX a long time ago, and this is like a million times better than FSX. So I'm happy. I ain't gonna fix it if it ain't broke. But it should work though, Kev. Got a quick phone call, but I'll be back with you guys another probably hour until we land. back for a second. Calls got disconnected either way. I'm going to leave for again, but it says, where can I find the engine out procedure for the CRJ? Any good website? And, most companies have them as their own engine out that they developed. So it's not like it's a CRJ thing. It's more of a company thing. You'd have to look up in the aero data. I don't think you'll be able to find it. But if you do, then all the power to you. But it's more of a company-to-company thing. And it depends on the airport too. Most times, unless it's mountainous or something weird, it's just going to be runway heading. But if you're meaning, so maybe you're also meaning instead of the where you fly versus the actual procedure of what you do, you can probably find it. There's even videos on YouTube. You can find them in the sim. We should do transition here. They did in the at the CAE. I think there's an Endeavor video you can watch them do an engine out procedure, and it's basically what we do at my company. I mean, there's only a couple ways you can do it, right? So that's where I would start. I would look at the Endeavor video. Just look up CRJ V1 cut on YouTube, and you can just write down your notes based on what they do. But every company does it a tiny bit differently, but they're all going to achieve basically the same outcome. They're just kind of hush hush with that kind of stuff. All right, well, I got you guys here. We're gonna try to make some more stuff happen with this. I want to view shortcut. That's what I want. Put it to that, and I'm just gonna go in order. Make it easy for myself. That way I can just snap to these things quickly for you guys. Whoops. There we go. Oh, there's the phone call back. Be right back. I'll leave you guys with the flyby view. I do like this chase plane. It's pretty sweet, though. Okay, I'm back. It looks like a lot of centers are starting to come back online as well, so I don't have to contact me yet. Skymaster, welcome to the channel again. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. We're getting attuned with chase plane. Kind of setting it up and mapping it out a little bit. If you guys don't know who Skymaster is as well, be sure to go check out Skymaster's stream. Or his videos as well. I think he streams more than I do. Don't know if I'm quite happy with that view. It'd be a little bit more... Yeah, a little more like that. That looks a little bit better. We'll save that. Perfect. Gotta close my blinds so I can barely see my monitor. Hope you guys have gotten some time to fly the CRJ-V2 yourself and gotten used to the new features and all that kind of stuff. Again, there will be more coming to this airplane eventually with the new flight model update that's going to be coming out. I don't know when that's going to be coming out, but it will be coming out. And also alongside that flight model feature, there'll be a lot more of little hidden gems in that update as well. So that one will be very, very good when that eventually drops out. I'm trying to get my overlay to work better for you guys at the top instead of no data. I don't know if you guys play DCS at all, but there's that 37,000. Eagle Dynamics just released a Cold War sale. They have a video that just came out on that, so go give that a try. I used to be a massive DCS flyer myself. I haven't been into it recently, but yeah, a lot of fun. If you like that kind of fighter stuff, it's very realistic. I'd say probably more than Microsoft Flight Sim in flight model wise. Don't hate me. But it is it's very good, and I really really recommend if you want that kind of fighter jet kind of flight sim, that's the one you're going to want to do it in for sure. Devin says, I feel like capturing the glide slope is still a bit tricky. An aircraft following the correct descent path is still a kind of hit or miss. I don't really find it that big of a deal on my side of things. I haven't seen it too bad. There's Alt's cap at 37. We're going to be cruising at 0.76. Whoa. So we'll dial that to 7.6 and we'll bring our thrust back a bit. Yeah, I haven't really had that big of an issue with mine, to be honest. Mine works out quite well. I have noticed the flight directors aren't that great, and I've mentioned that, but that apparently it's a 2020. The way it's coded in 2020, it won't really be able to be changed, unfortunately. But yeah, glide slope capturing works fine for me. Localizer as well. I know a lot of people have problems with that, but as long as you do the things I said in my video and do it, you know, correctly, basically, it works just fine. But overall, great improvement, and love the aircraft. Yeah, it's a much better aircraft than it used to be. By far, much better. And for a free update, I mean, you can't complain. And I think the updates will continue to be free. I can't say that for sure, but that's how it's sounding. And today we will be doing a RNAV LNAV only approach. So there won't be a glide slope. We will have a white advisory VNAV snowflake that appears left of the altitude here. But that's it. And that reminds me, let me get G's on. That's a tool that Flight Sim Gaming, another fellow streamer, wanted me to start running to do landing rate monitors on stuff. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not really the biggest advocate for greasing and landing rates and all that kind of stuff. If you guys want to see it, I'll put it up there. But yeah, it's as long as it's safe landing inside the touchdown zone on the center line with the correct wing correction, you're good to go. You don't get judged on greasers in real life, at least legally. So we're just finishing up the SID. There's the all Alba transition we're getting to. So that's all the way over there. And the rest of it is our route. Still no contact me, so no one still is online to control us. I forget if this route touches Boston Center. I don't think it does. I think it goes a little too far north to touch Boston Center. But what I am going to do, this is one of the very few routes where we actually put a fix in. The reason is we don't have a star, so to judge the top of descent before we put the approach in, we can kind of use this as a reference point. Oh, the door's still open. We'll say we're fairing the airplane. That should be closed. Whoa. I don't know why my mouse is doing this. It's just with chase plane. I can't really move my view all that well. Gotta figure out what's doing it. Why is there... Da-da-da-da. That works. Aha! This is what I wanted. I think. Well, that's weird. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Turn that off. A little bit. Cool. That was what I think was making it a little weird feeling to me. Yeah, chase plane is pretty sweet. I'm just getting used to it. I haven't used chase plane in a long time. I own this. I used this and Easy Dock a long time ago, back in like the P3D days. But it is very, very cool. Reduce motion when stationary. Sure. Off? What does that do? I don't know. Anyways, I think that was maybe the problem of why my view was just like to move it around was kind of weird with my mouse there. It's still kind of a little glitchy, but I don't know if that's chase plane or just my sim being in my sim right now. That's fine. We're just cruising, and we should do a top of climb check as well. We'll get the next one here at Caddick. So the Caddick fuel, the flight plan. See where it is here. Caddick. There it is. Want 72.50 on the fuel. Oh, contact me. We're 76, so we're about 400 pounds above min, or sorry, above plan. And we are 1,400 pounds above minimum fuel, so we're good. They want us on 28,775. If you guys don't know what to say to a center, by the way, when you're checking on, just say your call sign and your cruise altitude. So, and if you don't know what the center is called, it's Montreal Center, I think, just hopped on. If you don't know what the center is called, just say center, and they'll tell you it is. Say center, Jazz 328.
617,
Flight level
Roger.
370. They have a radar. They know where we are.
0376.
They know we're coming. What do you think of X-Plane 12.3? I don't have X-Plane 12. I had X-Plane 11 and 10 a long time ago, but an unpopular opinion is I just really don't like the flight models or the sim in general. I did like the IXG-37, and I liked the Concorde, although it flew a bit weird from the other one that I had anyways. But I'm just not a general X-Plane fan. I appreciate people that use it, people that fly it, all the power to you. It's just not my sim. It's not for me. Center good day, Jazz 328, flight level 370.
Jazz 328, squawk 0315.
0315, Jazz 328. Okay, that's thrown in there. This is going to be changed as well because
Jazz 328, radar 85, level 370.
Because we can put that back on auto now, but because this should only, because I'm on ATC number 2. Oh my gosh, that should be blank. There shouldn't be anything there, and it would just say ATC 2. And if I was ATC 1, then this would be blank. It'd be on this side. And if I'm on standby, then it's just the one from memory is how that works until we select it on the side we want. Yeah, Josh, hopefully that helped. Yeah, I'm not a big X-Plane guy. I was thinking of getting back into it if the RJ they had for it was really good, but I've heard it's nothing really better than what I have here, so I didn't really want to spend $100 or whatever it is to get the sim and get all. Plus, I spent all the add-ons in this already, and I got everything kind of nicely set up, and I'm kind of comfortable. Sure, we'll put that in there. Fine. Matthew said the DWS CRJ Delta Wings, I think that's what it's called, Delta Wings CRJ for the X-Plane is not good. Aerosoft V2 is much better. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. I was thinking maybe if the developer wants to work with me as well, once I'm done helping the Aerosoft one get better, we could just go over there and start making that one better, so you guys have an RJ and X-Plane that's good too. I wouldn't be opposed to that if they wanted to. I just haven't asked really. But I'd be down to do a bunch of testing for them on that as well.
Good afternoon. Squawk 0334, please.
And negative weight? I can have negative weight. Yeah, it's just very, very choppy. I don't know why. I think that's bad.
949 radar identified 360. Welcome.
Wait, I know why. I know I shouldn't pause, but I think I know why. Depth of field. Let's turn that off. So I'm only getting 60 frames. I'm usually in the 80s, like easily 80s on in Microsoft, and I made that worse. But yeah, it's getting pretty bad performance today. I wonder if it's my overlays. Let me turn some of these off real quick. See what I get now. Same. It also says I need so much help. I feel like their programmer needs some help. Yeah, I mean, if you have the contact or something, if they want to get in touch and need some help, I'd be happy to help them. Definitely not opposed to that. Get that airplane where it needs to be. Ronnie, hey, welcome. Good morning. What's the menu? What's the menu on the screen? One you're fiddling with? Oh, that's Chase Plane. I partnered up with Parallel 42. And they gave me access to their products, so I'm using SimFX by them, which I think it's button. So you can see that SimFX with their contrails on the right side here. Let me get a new one for you. Kind of see maybe a flyby view. That's SimFX by Parallel 42 with their contrail. It's not an immersion pack, but it does do a bit to the RJ. The immersion packs are specifically built for a certain airplane, like the immersion pack for the 320. But it does add a bit of depth, and I'm also using Chase Plane, which is their camera tool. And it basically does this little cool cinematic views you can do. It has a flyby view, which is from Chase Planes. With a hit of a button, I can go to a flyby view. It adds shaking to the cockpit and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so it's its own view thing. And I'm just sorting out how to get my mouse to... I think it's actually my performance in the sim right now. It's just not the greatest. I'm only getting 50, 60 frames, which usually I'm in the 90s, so I don't know why that's happening. I'm actually going to go ahead and go to community file, which I know it won't affect it right now, but I'm going to go ahead and delete static traffic mod. Oop, like that. That's weird. Why aren't you guys getting... Do that again. I think the overlay turned itself off. There we go. Overlay should be back. Cool. That's new on the stream as well, guys. I got the overlay kind of working. I got some starting, and I got this screen working up as well. So that works. Starting. Oh, there's my copyrighted music that I can't play. I gotta get the music fixed. And I got an ending stream. I kind of put together that kind of stuff. just to increase the production value a little bit.
Santa Maria,
I love the new
489,
PFD colors on the Airsoft CRJ. The blue and brown are much better. Yeah, they are. I actually had to edit mine. Over here, to this next page. These are my personal ones that I've created, and I like those a lot. But the new default ones are better than the old ones for sure. As Evan says, X-Plane 12 has come a long way. I remember when I started flying when X-Plane 10 got released. Yeah, I had 10, and at the time, I was a big 777 guy in my younger years. Anyways, I had the PMG 777 already in P3D, which was amazing at the time. It still is. And then Flight Factor came out with their 777, and I bought that in X-Plane, and I was just severely disappointed with what the product was for the price they were asking at that time. I'm sure it's gotten better now and all that kind of stuff, but that kind of left a bitter taste in my mouth for X-Plane. Then I had X-Plane 11. The IXEG-37 was amazing. The Zebo Mod 37 I think still is the best freeware airplane in the world. And I also had the Concorde as well, which I thought Concorde was one of my favorite planes. FS Labs won't be beat on that. I know they had some issues with their installations, but the level of work that the Concorde was is really good. So much fun.
24 back, correct. Push and start facing west is approved. Call for taxi.
Yeah, I've been simming for about 12 years, so I've kind of seen my fair share of good products, bad products, and started with FSX, and then moved to FSX Steam, and then P3D, and then X-Plane 10, and I was kind of flying both at the same time. Then I kind of gave it up when, as soon as I was like 17, 18, or just like maybe 15 to 19, I was really big into DCS. Actually, probably 15 to 22, let's be honest. Probably really big into DCS, especially during COVID as well. So I did DCS for a long time. Made my own squad and training programs and all sorts of stuff for DCS. And I didn't really play a lot of Flight Simulator anymore. At that time, at 18, I was doing flight school, real world. And then only really in the last year or so, I kind of really started to get back into it. Flight Factor 772 is probably the most immersive aircraft I think I've ever flown. X-Plane, it's really good. Yeah, I'm sure the new ones are good. When it first came out, I was like, oh, I don't know why I paid for this. The PMG is so much better. Yeah, there's just something about X-Plane. It's this flight model to me. I know it has probably on paper the physics are better and all this kind of stuff, but something about all the planes, they feel like toys. They're very kitey and balloony feeling to me. But that's just my personal opinion. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. I don't say one is better than the other. My opinion on flight simulation is, first of all, you gotta have fun with it. Because at the end of the day, and it's gonna sound terrible, but it's a game you're playing at home on your PC or Xbox, depending on what you fly. So have fun with it, whichever one you like. Nothing will get close to the real plane, because not even the real ones we train on are close to the real airplane. They're good for systems, they're good for procedures, they're good for that kind of stuff, checklists and all that kind of stuff, but the flying feeling of it, it won't get it. It won't capture it regardless. Even if the flight model in the sim is 1,000,000% correct, which it can't be because computers can't be, your hardware at home won't be to what the real airplane is. With the force feedback and the sights and the sounds and all that kind of stuff. So I say enjoy what you like. If you like X-Plane, you fly X-Plane. If you like Microsoft, you fly Microsoft, and you're happy with both if you want. So I try to stay away from those X-Plane versus Microsoft wars. To me, they're both good. You just use it for what you want to use them for. Holy Flights and Gaming, what the heck are you doing, man? You're supposed to be coming out with the guys tonight, but instead you're spending your money here. Really appreciate that though. Flights and Gaming said 20 gifted memberships. So if you guys don't know who Flights and Gaming is, hopefully you do now. Please leave them a like and a comment in the chat saying thanks for your membership if you got a membership. And obviously be sure to stop by Flights and Gaming's channel as well to subscribe. Very close friend of the channel. We've actually met up real world a couple times. And if you can make it out tonight, we are going up tonight as well. So feel free. Feel free. Really appreciate that though. Thank you so much. Working? Nah, you take the day off. Come on, you own the place, don't you? Yeah, absolutely incredible. The support that Flight Sim Gaming gives the channel. It's unwarranted, really. I don't know why he gives it, but I'll take it. Be sure, guys, to go stop by his channel when he's streaming and or when he's just watches videos as well. A lot of fun stuff. Very chill. Very chill stream to watch. Kind of just turn it on, even if you want to do homework in the background, or just kind of chill out. But I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Matthew says, do you fly the CRJ in the United States? No comment.
That question is Gander which is still online.
No comment, sorry. I don't want to answer that one. But I appreciate the question.
Shedek is not online. Moncton is
Alright,
online.
going back to
but
work,
not
just
you,
wanted to
Shedek.
say hello, enjoy everyone. Nah, just take a sick time. I'm sure you got like 4 days at least you can take. Come out.
I'm not sure.
Do what everyone else does. Work from home.
Moncton where you're on your airspace, but I don't think so.
Have fun at work though. Thanks for stopping in. Still trying to figure out how to get that no data thing to go away, so I give you guys
Lufthansa
most up-to-date current subscriber, current member, that kind of thing. Doesn't seem to want to work for me right now, but I'm probably doing it wrong.
Boston Central Lufthansa 475 Heavy. Bye bye.
All good. Hope I didn't get too personal. No, you're all good, my friend. No worries. Yeah, I'm trying to fix that no data at the overlay at the top left for you guys. You guys can actually get a number or some sort of thing there. I hope you're enjoying the overlay as well. That took not too much time, but a little bit of digging to see how to get that thing to work at the top there. So you guys get the flight info now of where we're going to, where we started, a flight number, and all that kind of stuff. And if you hear Flight Sim Game as well, I have G's running for later. G's. So I'll be able to, you'll be able to see that. Alright, you know what? This is bothering me to a point that I have to look this up now. And see how I can get that no data erased. That's really bothering me.
Montreal Center for Lufthansa 475. Could you confirm the frequency again, because we do not receive any answer. 132.2?
Oh, that's my mistake. I gave you Moncton, which is the airspace after Boston. Boston is 1347. My mistake, sorry.
Copy that. 134.7 Lufthansa 475. Good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
She's... Liv says, are you an Airbus or a Boeing guy? Whatever they pay me to fly. That doesn't matter to me. As long as I can go up and go down properly. then that's all that matters. If I had to choose one, I'd probably choose Boeing long haul and Airbus short haul. If it's a short haul stuff, I'd rather have a 320 or that kind of thing. But if it's a long hauler, I'd probably have like a 7.4 or a triple over a 350 in my opinion. But honestly, they're neck and neck for me, like 350 and triple or 87 or whatever as well. Doesn't really matter at that point. You're having a good time. Yeah, that's my personal opinion on it. The philosophy wise, there's things I like from Boeing that they do, and there's things I like from Airbus that they do, and I kind of wish they would just come together and make an airplane, because I hate the fact that the Airbus throttles don't move for situational awareness purpose, and that the yokes or the sticks don't move in sync when someone's moving it. Whereas in the a yoke, they both move, the throttles move. You can see when everything's what the airplane's kind of roughly trying to achieve without a screen. So I like that philosophy behind it. But then if you look at the 7.3, in terms of its overhead panel with no ICAS, I don't like that philosophy behind that. So I'd have the 320 ECAM and all that kind of thing in there. So I guess I would just mash them all up. Like the 220 is kind of a mashup of all the philosophies because it was a Bombardier product.
24 away, 24 right, with 270
that's my opinion, at least.
taxi southbound, Bravo
That's
4,
weird.
Bravo
That just randomly went. We went outside. I'll go back out there. Hope that answers your question though. Don't forget Skydall. Yeah, I gotta get Skydall running as well. You gotta remind me on final. I don't know if I guess I can start it now. Hope it doesn't lag me out having more things open here.
Jazz 328, contact Boston Center, 13407.
3447 Jazz 320. Have a nice night. 3447. Okay.
1347.
134.7 Jazz 320. 347. Boop.
United 2175, Boston Center.
Don't know. I'm getting enable cruise altitude right now.
2175.
Seeing how we've been here for a while.
Walker 4369, clear direct Canny.
Same thing with this center, guys. We're just going to say
4369.
Boston Center, Jazz 328, flight level 370. Boston Center, Jazz 328, flight level 370.
Jazz 328, Boston Center, good afternoon.
That's it. We're checked on. He's happy, I'm happy.
Boston Center, Delta 2461, 2200, climbing 5000.
And Canada use feet or runways for runways and altitude, also inches of mercury. In Canada, it is feet, inch of mercury. So it's all like the US. I knew we were going to touch Boston Center. I was remembering that correctly. I'm going to go back to trying to solve this this problem here. I'm going to get that no data at the top there to give you actual data.
United 2630, information uniform, expect vectors ILS runway 27.
I thought I heard unicorn for a second.
United 2630, we have uniform and expecting all backs less than 27 inch.
Foxjet 412, cross runway 15 on Charlie.
Cross 15 on Charlie,
United 2175, radar contact over Merritt, climb and maintain, flight level 350.
350, United 2175.
LL 91 heavy, descend and maintain 5000.
5000,
Simon says, does the hold function work correctly in the CRJ? On a missed approach, it will work quite well. A manual entered hold in the current V2 will not work that well. But in the beta version of V2, which I'm testing currently as we speak, but I'm streaming, streaming the public one.
Level 360.
But the in the beta, it will be working.
And Boston Center, good evening. High flight 205 Super with you passing 2,500 for 5,000.
High flight 205 Super, Boston Center radar contact.
Yeah, be sure, guys, to thank
level
Flights and Gaming there. That was an amazing 20
Flight level
gifted
240,
memberships,
high
which is
flight
quite
205
insane.
Super, thank you.
So thanks to him.
LL 91, fly heading 030, descend and maintain 3,000.
030, 3,000.
Flight check 412, ready to go. 4, ready.
Flight check 412, Boston Center, fly runway heading, runway 24, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading 24, clear for takeoff. Flight check 412.
Delta 2665, Boston Center, roger, thank you. November 2623 Romeo, cross Kibby at or above 3000, cleared straight in RNAV, runway 24 approach.
Cross Kibby at or above 3,000, cleared for RNF 24 approach. 23 Romeo.
LL 91, turn left heading 360.
LL 91.
Well, Jordanian 261, roger, thank you.
We definitely have some sort of a memory leak, something
November
happening.
3368 Yankee, descend and maintain flight level 340.
Constantly worse, which is not good.
November 68 Kilo, descend and maintain flight level 340. LL 91 Heavy, turn left heading 300 and join the localizer.
300, join localizer, LL 91.
November 3368 Kilo, descend and maintain, flight level 340.
Flight level 340, 68 kilo.
You don't mind me asking, how do Canadian regulations differ from U.S. regs a lot? I'm not too sure. They're probably quite the same, I'd imagine. I wouldn't imagine too much of a difference, really.
Consider flight set 412,
Matthew says, man, those are rear engines.
Delta contact, clear direct
Man,
Providence,
those rear
Providence
engines,
11000.
Delphins just look sick. Yeah.
Direct Providence, VOR, climb maintain, 11000.
I mean, the sweatback wings, we don't really have delta wings in the CRJ. More sweatback design.
Maintain 3000 until established on the localizer.
But it does look pretty
ILS,
sweet.
Runway 27 approach.
Cleared ILS 27 approach, Canadian 37.
November 3368 Kilo, descend and maintain, flight level 240.
Flight level 240.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get my performance to go up. I don't know why it's so bad. I mean, I got a 4080. I'm getting 30 frames in cruise right now, which is just sad. And I don't have the highest settings in the world, so it's something that's being streamed, I think, and or the V2 doing this to me. I guess this is my sign that I need to get back in CRJ. I haven't been in a couple weeks, and I'm so probably going to be rusty. Yeah, I mean, that's the fun part, right? It's good thing about flight sim is take a couple weeks off, buy something else, and you come back, and it's a whole new learning experience, so you have fun with it again. I'm gonna try something out real quick, guys. You might not see anything.
Hello, 91, contact Boston Tower, 128.8.
128.8, hello.
It's not that. Yeah, I'm only getting 40 FPS, which is really bothering me. It just feels terrible in the sim right now. Anyways, we'll continue this and we'll start planning for our arrival here shortly. Our arrival preparation is weather, weights, plates. That's the order I like to do things. Get the weather, get the weight.
Was that United 15 calling?
And finally look at the approach plate. Get all the information you need from that.
Oh, Delta 73, Boston Center, Roger, thanks. Good.
I'm just trying different stuff now because I can't fly like this. That's one thing that really annoys me is bad performance. I don't really have anything that's set to anything crazy, really. It's all pretty standard stuff for a 4080 to run. So maybe try that. Should be able to do it. I mean, I was running these settings a month ago just fine. Probably have to do an NVIDIA update though. It could probably has to be video RAM. I've heard 2024 can be very hungry with. Yeah, this is 2020. Accumulates as you go. Yeah, this is all 2020. So what I'm gonna have to do is probably an NVIDIA reinstall of the new driver. I'll probably do that. Like, I mean, we're down to 18 frames. I was clicked off the window, but still.
2630, turn left heading 340.
Get an average of 40.
2000, vectors to final.
Yeah, that's 660 left turn heading.
What percentage of N1 and N2 thrust to be used during final approach? It depends. In the real world, it's going to be roughly from 54-ish to 62, somewhere around there in the N1. It depends on weight, depends on day, depends on density, altitude, all that kind of stuff. So it really just depends, but around 50s to 60 area is pretty typical. Try pressing Alt Enter a few times. It sometimes clear the stutters. Alt Enter. Right Alt Enter, I assume. Nah, it's still there. Thanks for trying, though. No worries. It's not your fault at all. It's just a good old flight simulator. How to get the max performance with a $4,000 PC. Why can't I run it at max? Because reasons. That's flight sim, so I'm probably gonna have to do a reset after this flight. So yeah, I'll have time to do that. It seems like it starts off okay, and then as we fly, it just starts to really degrade in performance, which I think is a some sort of a VRAM and or just RAM usage problem, which is quite annoying. Seeing how we're in 2025 at this point, we can't figure this stuff out.
Yeah, the 2630 left heading the 300, setting this up localizer around the picture.
It's not overheating either, because everything's looking in the 50s and 60s. Memory only is 32 out of 64 gigs used. It's DDR5. CPU is only 20% used. The graphics card is 80% used.
United 2630, you're 8 miles from Ripit, maintain 2000 until established on the localizer, cleared the ILS runway 27 approach.
I'm doing something I probably shouldn't be doing, but I'm doing it. I'm going to try it.
LL91 Boston Center radar contact, and you can expect vectors ILS runway 27 approach. Over 2623 Romeo.
Oop, press this and I can bat some real quick then let's see. Back down there.
Runway 24, clear to land.
Clear runway 24, 23 Romeo.
Say again? Jordan 261, descend and maintain, flight level 360. I'll have lowered for you in just a moment. United 2630, contact Boston Tower, 128.8.
3.8, LL91, was I doing having
LL91, turn left heading of 090. November 3368 Kilo, cross Calverton, Charlie Charlie Charlie, how to maintain 12000 and 250 knots, Kennedy altimeter 3020. Lufthansa 475, leaving my airspace. Moncton Center closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved. Lufthansa 475. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Interesting. So my NVIDIA filters are causing about a 10 frame difference, which is not nice. This didn't used to do those before.
Delta 2461, are you able by chance flight level 360? I just have a conflict with you with another aircraft that's going to be on your airway further down the line.
Yeah, we can say 360. I think works.
Delta 2461, thanks. I'll maintain flight level 360.
Maintain flight level 360. Works.
Boston Center from 60 kilo inbound near passing.
You see how like laggy and just kind of stuttery it is. I'll have to do some major setting overhaul after this stream.
7660.
Anyways, let's start getting ready for our descent here. So we'll get the weather.
Jazz 328, leaving my airspace, and Moncton Center closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
228. Have a good night, Jess. 328.
Jordanian.
Cool. We'll go refresh the METAR. YYG is reporting light wind from the north, 15 mile viz, vicinity showers, view 1600 feet, broken 4000, 10 degrees, altimeter 2999, 2999, and yeah, pretty good actually, pretty good weather. It's supposed to be worse, so that's why I went here, but yeah, so weather's been gotten. Let's see what we have to choose from here. I'll probably take the RNAV into 2.8 most likely. Just quickly bring up the charts. I'll go over here actually, because we could do it here now. Charts, destination, approach, RNAV Yankee 28. That's an RMP, you can't do that one. RNAV Zulu 28. And I quickly want to see how long runway 28 actually is. So we'll do CYYG, enter that in, runway 28, refresh the METAR. Our landing weight, we are zero fuel weight of basically 70,000 pounds. And we're planning to be there at 4,500 pounds, so 74.5 we'll call it on the landing weight. 74,500, that's some fudge factor built in there. Max landing with the CRJ-900 is 75,100, so we're good underneath that. Our VREF will be no reverser. Well, we'll do idle reverse. We'll press calculate landing distance. So 3,300 feet. We got 7,000 feet to play with. That's more than fine, so we can do that approach. Sweet. Return. Let's go ahead and set the rest of this up. Whoa. Let's go back here. Charts. So it's going to be the RNAV visual backed up by the RNAV, the MDA for an LNAV only. So let's talk about this for a second, guys, because I see a lot of people get confused with this. So this is an RNAV approach. It's a GNSS approach, which means it's flown with a GPS. It requires a GPS to fly this approach. And we have 3 different MDAs to choose from. The lowest being an LPV, then an LNAV VNAV, and then an LNAV MDA. Let's make sure our speed's okay as it is. So the LPV requires a GPS on the airplane of a WASP GPS, which uses 6 or more satellites to calculate position. It also requires a VNAV on the airplane as well to shoot it properly. Actually, technically, you don't need a VNAV to shoot it because a Cessna can shoot an LPV. But in the RJ, that's usually what happens. If you have LPV, you have a VNAV as well. This is a non-NG that I'm simulating. You can go to the options, next page, and turn on coupled VNAV, but I'm not going to do that because most of the airplanes we fly don't have VNAV in it. Some do, but most don't. So I'm simulating we don't have it. So we can't do that. The next one is a straight in landing LNAV VNAV. Well, we don't have VNAV, so we can't do that one. Last option is the only option we can do in the non-next gen version of the CRJ, which is most common in real life what you'll actually fly. This is the MDA of 600 feet, but because it's a non-precision approach, we'll add 50 feet on top of that, so 650 will be our MDA today. With this, all this means is we're going to be following this path. It is up to us to descend for the runway. Now you can have two methods to descend. There's one that we are allowed to do, and one that we're not allowed to do. The one we're not allowed to do is a step down procedure. So we get here at Epsilon at 390, and then we just chop and drop to 1500, hold that, and then we chop and drop to the MDA and hold that. We don't do those. We try not to do that the best that we can. It's a really unsafe way of doing it. The way we like to do it is called an SCDA, or a constant descent angle. So we're going to get to Epsilon at 1500 feet, or you can start even from here if you can make a constant descent all the way. And then once we have Dublek, we're going to do a nice constant rate descent down at our 3-degree glide path of roughly 750 feet per minute, something like 700-800 feet a minute. So if you can calculate it with the FMS and the advisor VNAV to go Epsilon, constant descent past Dublek to 1500 and keep going down, that's kind of what we want to do. So that's what we're going to try to do, and I'll show you how we can set that up in a second here. So LNAV MDA is going to be 600 feet. So we'll go to this side over here. Each pilot would set their MDA up. We'll bring this up, and we're going to go 600. You know what might be doing the performance thing? It might be the mod doing this to me. It might be the texture mod. I have to try no texture mod after. Why is this giving me problems? 650 feet. There we go. Next, we're going to put in, we would fill in the HCP information. This is our HUD control panel. It doesn't really work in the sim, so I'm going to skip that. Lastly is the FMS, so departure arrival. We're in the arrival section. Next page, looking for the RNAV Zulu into runway 28. There it is. And let's see, Ombob or Vixel. Let's see here. Whoa. Whoa. We're flying east currently. So we're flying this way, so it doesn't really matter which one we take. Yeah, I guess we'll take Ombob. It doesn't really matter which one because it's both at a 90 anyways for us. So Ombob, we'll press legs. That's all fine. Next page, Ombob. And did it have an altitude? It doesn't. That one's 3, so I'll put 4,000 just for something to aim for. Epsilon at 1500 or above. I'm going to change that. For the glide path, wanted 3090, so we can set that in there. Roughly 3100, we'll call it. Now this shouldn't be giving me descent arrows. This should be giving me, or climb arrows. Should be giving me descent arrows, but whatever. And then Duvik is a FAF crossing of 1500, so I'm going to make that a hard number. Get rid of the A. Put that there. Runway 28, we're going to be landing at 74,000 pounds. The speeds that are calculated in the performance tab are quite wrong. I usually end up minusing 5 knots or more. Like 146 for a 74,000 pound landing is way too high. We'd probably be more in the 137 range. So I'm going to do 138. I have to go get my performance book. It's in my iPad. I don't want to really get it right now. And then holding most likely at 209 knots, 3,000 above. We'll confirm and execute that. Now, because there's absolutely nobody here, I am going to go direct to Ombov. Actually, we're going to do that inside the approach. There we go. We'll execute that. Got a top of descent showing there. It's kind of wrong. That says 2, that says 18. That's fine, I guess. This is when we get to the waypoint. This is when our top of descent is. You can see a top of descent's been made. So we're going to go to fixed page and we're going to completely delete that. Don't need that anymore. There we go. I'll catch up with the comments here. Thank you, Flight Sim Gaming, for the gift. Yeah, everybody be sure to thank Flight Sim Gaming for the 20 gifted memberships. If you were gifted a membership, please go thank him as well. Very awesome guy. Go subscribe to his channel as well. If you don't know who he is, please go subscribe to him. Matthew, let me change to 3 on the calculation. Change to 3. Let me go check it out. Whoop. Takeoff and landing. Oh, it did. Look at that. Thank you. 2-8. Refresh. And calculate. So it's the other side of the runway anyways, but it's same numbers there for the most part. Using 33, and we got 7,000 to play with, so thank you for that. In Charlotte, I'm pretty sure they're basically the same. Like this is, well, it's getting used to this chase plane. This is 7,000 feet, and if I go on the other one, that's 7,000 too. They're basically the same runways. It's kind of funny. You'd think they'd make one a little bit longer. Anyways, go over here. Nice catch though. Matthew says, wait, some CRJs have VNAV? Yes, they do. Actually, you know, if you're in the Discord, guys, I'm going to post a picture. And I'm going to post a picture in the chat with picture of the VNAV. That's going to be in the Discord. So I'll put it in general. See if I have to scroll through my photos to find it here. Captain Jack, welcome, my friend. Hey, buddy, finally got back to the computer. Been a busy afternoon. Hit that thumbs up, folks. Yeah, thank you very much. Hit the like button if you guys haven't already, and thank for Captain Jack for coming in. Go feel free to watch his streams when he goes live, and go subscribe to Captain Jack as well. One of the other great streamers in the sense of when you watch it, it's kind of like a bit of like a DJ kind of party. You got some music going on, so feel free to go watch his stream as well. It's a very fun, enjoyable stream to be part of, in my opinion at least. I'm gonna find that VNAV button for you. There it is. Boom, send. That is a real button. That is a real button. Alpha, how do you set up all that VNAV info in the ND? To get all this, you got to go to the FMS, go MFD menu, and then we're flying from the right side, so VNAV. The left side is going to get on, which looks like that. Which, looking at it, it looks like they fueled this wrong in Toronto, because they're planning a landing fuel of 1,400 right now, which is pretty low. I'm gonna go see what the OFP wanted real quick for fuel, and then we'll reload with about 10,000-ish pounds. Yeah, that's what they wanted. Usually this number is quite wrong, so we'll see what happens. We're gonna be sending in 24 minutes. We're doing about 4,000 an hour, 20 minutes of that, so 30 minutes would be 2,000, 20 minutes about 1,800 pounds. So we'll be descending it roughly at about 28 to 3,000 pounds from now. Fuel. We'll be at 3,000 pounds, so we'll be idle for most of that. So that actually won't be that far off. This number is completely wrong, and SimBrief gave me like all the wrong fuel because we're burning a lot more than they said. So yeah, I don't really trust the SimBrief numbers too much, guys, but it's kind of all I have really to do. I guess I can go to real flight time. Anyways. Hey, thanks Alessandro. Alpha says, thanks, I was looking at the AP options. Yeah, it's in there for you. Justice, why is the RVR section in meters? Shouldn't be. Let's go back here. For the chart, you're saying? I won't have RVR in this one, actually. RVR should be in feet, unless you're in Europe. But this one doesn't have any RVR. This is just, this needs a mile viz, that needs a mile and 3/4, and that needs a mile and 1/4. So, this isn't RVR there. But RVR is all in feet, unless you're in Europe, maybe. That might change, but, yeah. Sending a message here real quick. Alright, back with you guys now. Nautical mile, a mile, it's statute miles. Statute miles, SM, so just regular mile for the RVR. Mike says, do you have the deep dive video on the CRJ-CDU? I do. I believe I do have an FMS video, how to set up an FMS. What we're going to do now is go to the legs page as well, and from Omdov, actually from Alplin, I want a 3.0 descent. And I want to do tech as well. I should do it by itself, but I'm going to do it again just to make sure. 3 degrees. There we go. And Omdov wants 2,700, so we're going to start down now. We're going to go 4,000 feet. Come on. That's weird. Why is it doing that? Okay, interesting. And we're going to go vertical speed, 3,000 feet per minute. That's very typical for us. An idle thrust in the descent. Mach 7.4. That's a very typical descent profile, is idle thrust 3,000 feet per minute. And you can see this number skyrocketing. That's not realistic. This should have already predicted this fuel, even though I'm at idle now. This is what that's doing is kind of like the measured mode. If I go to performance, fuel management, it's doing what measured mode would do, which is saying, hey, you're at like 2,000 pounds per hour. This is your fuel when you land. Oh, you went idle now? This is your fuel when you land. It shouldn't be doing that. In predicted, it should predict your entire route and have a bit of fudge factor for landing and all that kind of stuff, and actually give you a predicted number, what it predicts, not just, you know, what your current fuel burn is. Anyways, right now we're idle thrust. It's slowing down too much. That's been fixed in the new sim, or the new flight model that I can't show. That'll be fixed in the new one. So I'm having to add thrust, which is not realistic at all. But again, that'll all be fixed. My frames are just terrible right now. I don't know why. Oh well. Fires, welcome, welcome, welcome. Joss, already answered that one. Alpha, no, they're not nautical mile, unless you talk about something else, but RVR is in statute miles, not actually it's in feet. Usually. Not even in miles at all. But yeah. RVR is all in feet. And we're gonna get the CTAF up for Charlottetown. Give you guys a bit of an approach brief here shortly. CTAF is 23,550. I'll bring you over here. And we'll talk about it. So we're doing the RNAV. It's going to be a visual backed up with the RNAV from a 28. RNAV Zulu, that is. No WAS, so we're doing the LNAV only. Final approach course of 277. The guide pad check at Duvek 1500. MDA 650 set right, and it's only going to be set on the right because I'm not going to do it on the left side. Either it would be in real world. MSA is based on runway 28. That's 2,100 feet. Misapproach runway heading track 277 at Rajdo as required shuttle climb. In the event of misapproach, anyone can call it, including the, actually there is no ATC here, so anyone can call it in the flight deck. And I'll do toga button, toga thrust, flap 8, gear up, speed mode, nav mode, with gauge up at 600 feet, track flaps at about 1,200 feet, climb thrust after takeoff checks. 100 miles safe within 100 miles is 3,000 feet of the airport. Going down here, it's a 3-degree slope we'll plan to do. And we're gonna try to hit all the altitudes nice and a constant descent rather than leveling at 15 and then descending. We're gonna try to hit this at 3,100 and then keep the descent going for 1,500 and keep the descent going for the runway. That's what we're gonna try to do. Appies are on the left, and we have ODALs as the lighting system. We're gonna be fully configured basically before Divik, somewhere in here about let's see, that's a total of 9 miles, probably about 7 miles away. We'll be fully configured, gear down, flaps full for this landing. It's a bit, it's not like an ILS where you're kind of configured as you go. We'd like to get configured early so we can descend and just focus on that. But it won't be IFR anyways, so. How do you see the descent rate again for the altitudes crossing? Right here. So it's good. It should pop up here, but this is kind of wrong sometimes in the sim, at least. So to find the correct number, go to direct intercept. And actually, it's right now. Look at that. So Ombob needs 26, Eplin needs 27 feet per minute down, and Duvak needs 3,100 feet per minute down. So the number above is what it needs. And what we're going to do, guys, is I'm staying at 3,000 feet per minute. Because once we get to 10,000, obviously you have to slow down. So if I just did this number, I wouldn't be able to slow down all the way. So I'm going to descend a bit steeper than what it wants. I'm at it wants 25. I'm doing 3,000. And once I get to 12,000 feet, I'm going to reduce this to 1,200 feet a minute and slow for 250 knots. You'll kind of see how nicely it works out. VNAV is still an airliner option, even if it's the NG. Yeah, the NG doesn't have to come with VNAV. The airline can spec it out as they want. That is correct. Okay, direct intercept, that's what I was forgetting. Thanks. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, in real world it should be here, and that would be, this just pulls data from here, from the FMS to that ND screen, but in the sim it somewhere along the lines gets incorrect. You also have this VNAV path, which is an advisory path, and that's basically saying we're low on the path, or yeah, we're lower on the path than they want. That's fine. That's what I want because I want to slow down, so I'm building in slowdown time. So that's more than fine. Basically, what's going to happen at 12,000 feet, this will be so far reduced, it'll require about 12 to 1,400 a minute that I could basically just match the VNAV with my vertical speed with what the VNAV wants, and I'll be able to slow down. So this is going to continue to drop as we're descending at 3,000 a minute. 12 to 12, 250 rule of thumb. That's it. It works quite well. Give you guys a flyby view here. Very laggily passive flyby view because I can't get my settings to cooperate today at all. You know what? Just because I want to fly properly, we're just gonna lower all this right now, just so I can have a decent look at it. Frames haven't changed. It's not a setting problem. It's something in the sim. I'm hitting a limit somewhere on my system. I'm gonna have to do a reinstall of what's it called? NVIDIA, their control panel. I think the last update really screwed me over. Frames went up when I did that. I don't know, I'm at 60 now, so I'll put my settings higher, I guess. Anyways, transition here. Hit the magic B button. They were calling for 301, that's what I got set. Perfect. You like that view, Captain Jack? Yeah, I'm using Chase Plane. This is just a cinematic view button, and it's set to post cinematic view. And if I press a button I bound for a flyby view. But Parallel 42 came, were nice enough to let me showcase their products, so I'm showcasing some of their stuff, and this is Chase Plane I'm using, and Sim Effects as well. Alright, we're coming up to the magic number of 12,000 feet. Now, 12,000 feet, we use that because it's 2,000 feet away from 10,000. That's what we're concerned with. But if you have to slow down for any altitude, just start reducing your rate of descent 2,000 feet prior to the altitude. And that will be very good for you. It's strange that the Bombardier exec jets have auto throttle and not the CRJs. Yeah, well, those are just different airplanes. Let's see what's it's below 10 degrees, get into a cloud here. We're gonna go wings and cowls on. There we go. Yeah, the Challengers and all that kind of stuff were updated along the road, and the airliners never got that update. See, if they have to update let's say they went ahead and put an auto throttle on the 900, but you're an operator that does 700, 200, 900 operations, Now you got to get a separate type rating for those pilots, right? So it's just not business. It's not cost effective to put an auto throttle on one of the systems and then have to retrofit all the other ones. So I've been talking too much. Let's do 1,000 feet a minute or so. Go slow for 250 here. Might have to use the spoilers. Remember, I briefed at the beginning of this flight that the threat is the chack, so I like to talk too much. So we'll start talking and start forgetting. It strains that the yeah, I already read that one. Did you try the disk cleaner running at admin mode? Yeah, I'll have to do that one again. I definitely have to do that one again. We're gonna start adding in our spoilers, and I'll show you guys the spoilers here. They're very small spoilers, so in real world when you're a passenger, you don't really feel them all that much. This is full spoiler right there. They're very tiny. They're about the size of your forearm, so probably bigger than that, but they're not the biggest spoiler in the world. We're slowing nicely for 250. And go ahead and zoom in. We'll go to 1,300 feet per minute. I'm just going to match this with that, or this, I should say. I'm going to match vertical speed with my feet per minute required, which is now 1,200. And I'm going to add a little bit of thrust for 250. Going through 10,000 feet, the lights can come on. We can ding the belts. Oh, too many times. And approach and threat briefs complete. All the altimeters are set. Landing data is set as well. We'll go ahead and box the messages there. Don't need those. Looking pretty good. Basically, I'll go to the chart. I'll show you guys what's going to happen. We are going to fly from here straight to Omdov, left-hand turn. It's going to smart turn, so it's not going to hit the point and then turn. It's going to start turning early. We're going to go flap 1, flap 8, gear down, 20, 30, 45, all the way in the descent. We're going to keep it going down, 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 down. And we're going to use our direct intercept page, and we're going to use our ND for what VNAV's required to get us the constant descent on the way down. So that's not a hard altitude, so I'm going to bug 3,100 feet now. And let's see what 3,100 feet needs. Epsilon needs 1,400 a minute, so let's do 1,400 a minute. That I just put as a rough estimate, so I don't need to be at 4,000 feet. I do, however, need to be at 210 knots, so we're going to add the spoiler back in there. And we'll go down to 210 knots. We do have the anti-ice running as well, so it's harder to slow down with the anti-ice systems on. That's going to be replicated better in the newer version. This version doesn't really have the N1 that increases all that much, but in real world, when you throw the anti-ice on, it increases the N2 and N1 because it needs more air from the engine, so you need more bleed air, so it increases the thrust. When you turn the switches on, it's very hard to slow down, but it doesn't really replicate that too well in the sim currently. CRJ has all the spoilers deployment. It does, yeah. There's a switch right here. Ground lift dumping, and it's going to be an, if you leave it in auto. Whoops! If you leave it in auto, it will automatically throw the spoilers out once there's a certain regime. Like it's under 7 feet with idle thrust and weight on wheels. There's a certain amount of there's different gates it has to go through to allow that to happen. And if all boxes are ticked, the spoilers deploy. Let's see, 3,100 feet needs 1,100 a minute now. So we'll do 1,100 a minute. Still no ATC online, but I'll make my quick radio call. I think I already switched over. No, we did not. It was 23,550. Go. And I'll make it more of a VFR call in case anyone doing circuits or anything, which probably isn't, but Peloton traffic, Jazz 328, we're on the right downwind, we're planning RNAV Zulu 28, runway 28, right downwind, runway 28. So I like to mix up VFR and RNAV and IFR calls in case there's a Cessna doing stuff. In real life, people with a PPL, they don't know what an RNAV is, RNAV Zulu 28, they have no idea what that is, so you got to give some sort of a position report. And what I'm going to add on the call is right downwind for the runway I'm on. Should have added my altitude and that kind of stuff, but there's absolutely no one here, so I didn't really bother. But you kind of have to make your radio call in airports that are uncontrolled with general aviation traffic a bit more generic, rather than I'm direct OMBOV on the RNAV Zulu 28, because unless I look that chart up, I have no idea where that is. So you can say we're on the right downwind, planning 10-mile final, runway 28, you know, 5,000, setting 4,000, or something along those lines to make it more of a VFR call. So I can actually picture where you are in the airspace and not have to look up a random chart to see where you are. Why are the taxi light on when the wing and not the nose wheel? Because the nose wheel's in the, I can't, wrong view. Keep doing that. Used to my old views here. That ain't it. How do I get back my view? Alright, well anyways, I can't show you, but the nose gear's up in the gear, so when the gear's up, you won't see it, but the taxi lights actually do, you'll see them on both wings. They're called taxi/recog lights, recognition lights. And there's no one here to clear us to land, so I'm going to clear myself to land, and we'll throw the center one on. There's 4,100 for 3,100. I'm going to lessen this descent rate a little bit. We'll do about 500 a minute or so. We get flap 1. We'll slow to 190. And the airplane should start to early turn us, so you should see this needle flip to the left in a couple seconds, and it's going to start smart turning. There it goes. So now it's going to start turning for the next waypoint. We're going to go idle thrust. Go flap 8, speed of 180. Yeah, I'm a left downwind. You're correct. You are correct. And then just before about midway, I'll probably get the gear, and we'll go flap 20 and so on. Let's see, it's 300 a minute. We're doing 6 or so, although the snowflake is pretty on point, so that's interesting. Add a little bit of thrust for 180. We'll sync up our heading. This is not the weather I was promised. Said U1200 and 50-mile viz. Okay, we'll go gear down. Plug down to around 700 feet. We'll go flap 20 at speed of 160. The airplane should early smart turn this one as well. Let's see, they want a bit of thrust. Divot wants 900 a minute, so we'll do 900 a minute. Flap 30, speed of 157. Shot on traffic jet 320, turning 10-mile final runway 28. 10-mile final 28. Set that up. Flap 45, a ref of 137. Duvik wants 600 a minute. We'll do 600 a minute. I don't know why my airplane isn't doing what I'm telling it to do. A little bit of thrust. It's just kind of laxy-daisily doing what I'm telling it to do. Like 300 a minute. Like I told you 6. Let's do 6. How about we try 6, airplane? Cool. Put the up back on. And it goes back up. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. That shouldn't be doing that. It should go to what I said it to go. Let's do 1,000. There we go. Now the nose is dropping. That worked. Let's do 6. 4, 3, 4, 7. Okay, let's do 700 a minute. That's closer. Let's do 800 a minute. See that advisory snowflake right there? Go back to 700 a minute. It seems like 4 to 600 feet a minute doesn't really kind of target. And basically, we're playing this game. Is it wants gear down. Flap 45, by the way. That's all set. We'll go reverse on and press that button to go back there. Oh, let's get Sky Dolly running. I didn't do that. We're basically doing our own descent to pass all the waypoints at the desired altitudes. I'm already runway in sight, so it's going to be a visual. Press the record button. But see, I set 7, it does 6. Now 5. So, anyways, let's turn that off. Flight directors off, don't need those anymore. Kind of just getting out of the soup. There's no ice light, so we'll go ahead and turn all the wing anti-ice stuff off. Put that down a little bit. And now it's a visual landing for runway 28. And basically, you have in the if I'm able to zoom in here in a second. Oh god, this light model. You have a blue dot on the vertical speed, and I'm gonna pitch up a little bit, and I'm gonna put my vertical speed over the blue dot, and that's basically what I should be flying if that makes sense. Now, it's a reference because I am also visual, so visual takes precedence as I'm a visual landing now, but you can use it as a reference for you. And then just remember that this flight model won't be as good as the new one when that eventually does come out. So when that one does come out, it's going to be so much better to hand fly this thing, and it'll be a treat to hand fly this thing when the new one comes out. I can guarantee you that. This old one, I have like a bunch of dead zone and a bunch of sensitivity stuff to make it kind of replicate what it's supposed to do. But then it kind of gets very you can see that it gets kind of weird to control, so I can't really do the real control movements that I would be used to doing. So if you see the airplane doing that, it's because I'm doing what I would be doing rear rolled or in the new flight model, and it looks like that in this version. So that's what's going to happen. 500. And if you're running why I didn't call landing at the minimums, we're already visual. I'm going to follow the Pappies. And I already called landing a while back, so don't have to call it a second time. Got a wind from the right-hand side. It's a pretty short runway, so I'm going to go a little bit lower on the slope. Yeah. 1,000 a minute should give me a sig rate for that.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
A lot of chase planisms there. And we got right wing down, right aileron I should say. Manual braking, obviously, there's no auto brakes, and the reversers are in idle reverse. And because no one's here, I'm going to exit left on this runway and we're going to backtrack. Take the reversers off. Don't know why it's overheating, didn't really give it that much brake, but whatever. Also, brake overheat doesn't happen at white, it happens when it turns red, but whatever. Show it on traffic, Jazz 328, it's backtracking, runway 21. Yeah, those are a bit easy to beat up. We use a lot more than that in the rear. We'll go flap up, line light off, I'll keep that on, it's for still on the runway. Aft car can come off, probes can come off, the anti-ice is all turned off, the weather radar were never used, transponder will leave on number 2, and we're going back. It's weird, I just got a YouTube notification for a guideline violation. Don't know what I violated, but we'll go dispute that. I guess you can't fly airplanes on YouTube anymore. Or it's just someone trying to play a prank. That's basically it. I'm not going to shut it down because you guys want to see the review, so let me go disconnect, or not review, the replay. Disconnect from VETS in there. And we're going to go ahead and attempt to get myself set up on the runway with chase plane. It's someone with that name trolling chats. Oh, okay. I'll just ban them then. That was pretty quickly. Thank you for that. Cool. Let's go here and nearest runway. Nearest runway, nearest runway, nearest runway. All right. Then I can press Sky Dolly and play Thank you for that. Pause that around there, and then I can move myself. So let's do high mode. I'm getting good at this chase plane stuff, guys. Whoa, maybe not. Move it over there. And spin around. Whoa. Whoa. Slowly. Let's go back to normal speed. All right. Now, there should be a way to do some sort of a camera thing. Let me put my flaps back to full so it looks right. If you're wondering, guys, as well, G's gave it a 167 feet per minute, and I didn't catch the rest of it, but I'll probably get it on the replay here. You can see all those bouncy nose. That's just because what I'm used to doing with my flare in real world, it kind of makes that in the sim. But G's gave it. Let me go ahead and do this again. Oh, wait, come back. G's went away. Capjack, sorry, no, I'm going out tonight. I'm going to meet some friends for dinner, but I'll be able to join in for chat, that's for sure. I'll be able to chat a little bit. So G's gave it once, okay, it keeps giving me different ones. Now it's negative 98 with 85.85 G and 1.82 off the glide. No, the original was 160, I'm pretty sure, though. So let me go and see if I can find some different views. Let's press play. Pretty cool, eh? Kind of really can't see anything from here, but there we go. We'll try that from here. Yeah, I like this chase plane stuff. Now it gave me negative 77, so my landing's getting better as I go. as I replay them here. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream tonight. I'm gonna get demonetized for playing this music mode I can play, but I really don't really care. It's a music that I found on that made with AI, so I just thought it was really funny. So let me go ahead and play it up in a second here. I'll get it ready to go. I just thought it was funny, so I'll play it here for you.
To the vibe, let the engines roar. Take to the clouds, see what's in store. Yours MCFI was soaring free, a flight sim dream for you and me. Subscriptions grow like trees in the breeze. Guiding you through. We land on golden sunsets, breaking light. Taxi the runway into the night. Every throttle push, every rise and fall. Yours MCFI.
Anyways, I thought that was really funny because I made that with AI when I was trying to find some music. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Anyways, that'll be the stream tonight, guys. That's pretty much it. We will be... I can't wait for the new flight model to come out, and we'll get rid of all this kind of choppy flying that we're limited to doing. I'm going to do some settings to try to get my settings to be back up and running. I don't know why they're kind of getting low in the cruise and doing all that. It should be in the 80s easily with this thing. I usually do. I'm going to try to, maybe next time I won't stream the mod. I'll just stream the regular one. Maybe the mod is doing it to me. I'm not sure. But we can definitely try that on the next one. So really appreciate you guys joining. Please go say thanks to Flight Sim Gaming once again for gifting you a membership if you got one. I'll be sure to say thanks for him in person when I see him next as well. So really appreciate him doing that for us. And we will see you guys in the next one. I'll leave you guys with the landing. I'll put the song back on for you, and we'll call it there. Thanks for joining, guys.
Subscribe to the vibe, let the engines roar. Take to the clouds, see what's in store. Yours MC if I was soaring free. A flight sim dream for you and me. Subscribe.